Not every restaurant experience is going to be a home run. So here's a story about the good, the bad, and the ugly while checking out a brand new coffee shop in my area. Yemeni coffee shops seem to be popping up a lot lately in my area. In addition to Shibam, which is what we're going to talk about today, there was a second that opened almost on the same day, and I just heard that there's a third coming. And I think all of these are in like a 5-mile radius. Now, I'm friends with a lot of the local influencers who covered Shibam before they opened, and I thought what they were posting looked really promising. But having done this for over 16 years, I can usually filter through what they do for influencers as far as promotional type stuff. But once they were open, I was really excited to try out Shibam because I'm kind of a coffee nerd and I genuinely want to see the good stuff rise to the top. Let's start with what was good at Shibam, and I'm actually going to say this was actually pretty great, and that's their Shibam Coffee. Big surprise, right? This is a light roast Yemeni coffee with sheer, which is like a husk, cardamom, ginger, cinnamon, and a little cream. Now, I'm pretty much an iced coffee guy all year round. It takes a lot for me to order a hot coffee drink. But on this menu, which was a lot of signature drinks, but also kind of derivative of other coffee shops, the signature beverage kind of stood out, especially if you're into coffee TikTok. Everything else looked very good, kind of similar to what you get anywhere else. This tasted absolutely fantastic. Between the fragrance of the cardamom, which I really love, the fruitiness of the sheer, and then the warmth of the ginger and cinnamon, then that coating of cream. Yeah, I did totally burn my mouth apart drinking this. Because it came out really hot. But as it became drinkable, it was delicious, and I'm going to say, as far as the remainder of the experience, which I'm going to talk about, it's one of those things where this was so good I can overlook all that stuff. And that actually brings me to the bad at Shibam, and that's the baklava. This is one of my favorite desserts on the planet, and I'm not exaggerating about that. And what they gave me tasted okay. It was pretty good actually, but what happened really wasn't a great look. But I think they did try to smooth it over, so here's the story. When my buzzer rang, I went to grab the tray from the counter. When I saw the meager portion of baklava that was on the plate that they had charged me $6 for, I asked the young man at the counter if that was correct. Because what I saw on top of the counter were these beautiful triangles of baklava, which looked a lot crispier and a lot larger and more worth the $6 price tag. He started in about how the baklava should have been $5 and that they have to charge that because they go out of their way to get it from New Jersey. So I walked away and I stewed on it on my own at my table. I felt a little ripped off. Moments later, an older gentleman came over to the table with another plate of baklava. Maybe it was the owner, and he gave us an apology that we had to wait so long. It was puzzling because we really didn't mind the wait. I actually didn't think the wait was unreasonable at all. It was kind of a busy night. We got our stuff within probably 5 to 10 minutes, but I could see they were trying. Customer service is hard. I don't want to beat Shibam over the head about the service, but this is the stuff that they really need to hear, because most of what you're going to see online, because this place is new, is the influencer-driven boosterism, and that's because these people are invited in and they have non-standard experiences. The counter staff was fairly unhelpful as far as answering questions and figuring out what to order. Because this was a new coffee concept to me, I had a few kind of basic questions about the menu, like what the different drinks were and as far as the different pricing and sizing. And every time I had asked a question, the girl at the counter that we were talking to had to actually ask back to somebody behind the counter. The young kid answering her questions was kind of short with her, but he was also busy, the same kid who handed me the tray. So they have some kinks to work out for sure. So I'll definitely be back to Shibam, but I won't be ordering baklava again, because there is a lot about the menu that I do want to try. Hopefully next time they'll be a little more polished. But hey, if you enjoyed this and you want to hear more of me talking about my experiences, hit like on the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.